What's up, guys? It's me, Mark McKenzie from the Philadelphia Union. It's currently stationed out here in the bubble in Orlando for the MLS is Back tournament. Linked up with Zach Steffen to be part of VOYCENOW because I really felt that it was time for us to make a stand, to make a statement. It's been far too long that black people have been racially profiled and pushed to the side, seen as inferior in many instances and in many parts of society. And now is the time for change. Now is the time for us to make a stand, to really make long-lasting change a reality. I play for Philadelphia, as I previously said, and I've been here as a professional for 3 years and in the academy since I was about 10 or 11 years old. And for me, I've had experiences with racism, but for the most part, not blatant in-your-face racism, but a lot of the microaggressions. For example, being labeled the big, strong, fast, athletic player. That's a simple microaggression that I've experienced on several occasions. Being placed in a position simply because I can dominate somebody physically, rather than being seen as a footballer who has an IQ for the game that is above another player, or who has technical abilities that are better than another player, or who is able to position himself tactically so that way he's able to get out of situations better than other players. No, it's in a lot of instances it's been about my physical gifts. And not saying that that's not part of the game, but that shouldn't be the reason that I am the footballer I am. That's part of who I am, but it isn't who I am. There's many aspects to my game, that I take great pride in. Being labeled as the big, strong, athletic players, just one simple microaggression that many don't necessarily think about when we talk about sports in general. And I'm sure that many black players can share the same experience to some extent or to some level. And I've also been called nigger before on the field. I've had instances where I've been profiled. I've had instances where teammates have been profiled. I've had stories told to me about teammates driving home after games and getting pulled over by the police for no reason, simply because they're a black man driving a nice car. And it just goes to show you that, as much as we are professional athletes, once we step off the field, we're behind the driving wheel. We're just seen as another black man in America and seen as a threat. And that's why we are where we are today. It's because we haven't raised enough awareness. We haven't had these uncomfortable conversations about why America is still suffering from systemic racism, why America is still seeing black men killed at the hands of police officers with no consequence to follow. It's frustrating. It's very raw for me, and it's something that I've seen far too often. In my only 21 years of life, I've seen a long list of black people murdered without any consequence. So, this is now a common theme that shouldn't be a common theme. However, America's been built on a system where black people are seen as inferior. Again, we still have a long ways to go, but at the same time, I think this is we're taking the right steps. With things like VOYCENOW, to be completely honest, with athletes and people in positions of authority, with positions of power, making sure that they're voicing their opinions and that they're encouraging others to speak up and speak out against the injustices, making sure that these uncomfortable conversations are had and that we're addressing these issues head on and not taking little sidetracks in order to beat around the bush. It's again, this is a situation that I think many black people can relate to, especially black athletes, and I'm sure that I won't be the only one who speaks up about it. And there's speaking up on social media, I think that we've been blessed to being in a day and age where where social media can be seen as a blessing and a curse. When I say a curse, social media, we spend too much time on it. We get solely, we get information solely off of social media sometimes, and this information is diluted, or this information is propaganda in order to get us to think a certain way. But at the same time, it is a blessing. Where now we as athletes, we as public figures can speak up on these issues. We can connect and network with so many different people from so many different backgrounds and locations around the world. We're able to talk and have these conversations that any point during the day. I think that social media is now a lethal weapon, when it comes to dealing with these injustices, because now they are being caught on camera and publicized, and now we are able to see firsthand. And even though we as black people know this has been going on for centuries now, it is just it's now in the public eye. It's now out there for everyone to see. So I think it's extremely valuable for us to use this platform, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever it is, Facebook, in order to spark conversations and to encourage people and to educate people and to divert people into avenues where now they feel like they can take action and influence change, influence and change. I also think that social media is a start. I don't think that social media is the end all be all. I think that, again, like I said, it's a conversation starter. It's a way for us to get mass information out to people everywhere. But ultimately it's about us as individuals, us as citizens, us as humans, to empathize with one another and to use these social media conversation starters as a means to take action back into our everyday lives. So now this education that I've been talking about, whether it be understanding how a comment may be offensive to people, or to a person, or to a friend or a family member, or to a group of people, how can I now rearrange what I'm saying, or how can I get a point across without being offensive? How can I connect with somebody and see their side of the story? How can I take the little things that I'm learning and carry them into my everyday life? I think that's one of the most important parts of social media. It's a conversation starter.